It's time for high school football in the Arklatex. This year's hot teams, the schools poised to make playoff runs, and unexpected underdogs looking for the upset. We bring it all on the Johnny's Pizza House Friday Night Blitz, brought to you by Car Giant Auto Group.
Hello, everyone. John Sartori, Wesley Boone.
Happy to be here, man. We've come a long way.
Look at my hand.
I'm just going to shake your hand.
Raise,
boom.
Boom. There's the stakes. You see them? Look at those.
Up there.
They're raised.
Raised.
We enter round 2 tonight. We got plenty of history on the line. Captain SHREVE, they're looking to make the quarterfinals for the first time since 1983. North Caddo can make the quarterfinals for the first time ever. And Loyola, they're going for their first semifinal appearance since 1998. But we begin with our Bargain Barn Autos Game of the Week. It's a rematch of the District 148 title from a few weeks ago. Northwood and North DeSoto meeting in the Class 4A second round. First possession of the ball game. This ball is going to pop out of Q White's hands. It's recovered by North DeSoto. The Griffins have to settle for a field goal, though, and then Northwood gets to work on offense. Here's Q White making up for the fumble. I think he
That's
fumbled.
A mean run.
I think he fumbled there.
Really?
But the referees get together. They say it's a touchdown. He say he broke the plane.
Game of inches.
It's 6-3 Northwood. But here come the Griffins. Marquez Hampton taking the snap. Gets inside the 30, and he'll finish the job later in the drive. Another missed extra point keeps this thing at 9-6. Now it's the Falcons' turn. Mason Welch connecting with Kamarion Jones. There goes Jones in a foot race, tackled at around the 11-yard line. Welch picks up his teammate. He finishes the job.
That's a tough run right there.
It sure is. Welch puts the Falcons up, and then this little deja vu. Sam Odom got intercepted a lot. The first time these two teams met, he's intercepted here again. Northwood, they're moving to the quarterfinals. 19-9. The Falcons are victorious. Our Sam Rothman was there and has more.
2 weeks ago, it was Northwood and North DeSoto for the district title. In a defensive battle, the Falcons came out on top. Fast forward to the second round of the playoffs, it's Northwood and North DeSoto again in another defensive battle. And again, it's Northwood who comes out on top. Last time, though, the key to the win was
Marjavius Moss.
And this time, instead of one standout player, it was
the whole team. The whole team. It was a team effort. We held the ball most of the game and played good defense and won, and that's playoff football.
This is what high school football is about. There ain't no better feeling than that. These are two great teams, and I mean, it took every guy on this team. It took every fan in the stadium. It took every person on this team. It took every coach on this team. This was a team effort. This was a team group, and we get to do it one more week at least.
Go, 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 go.
I thought the effort on both sides was tremendous. Hats off to Northwood. Congratulations. They'll get to extend their season, and we wish them well. Kids battle, you know, we'll look back at this season once we get over the sting of this and realize what was accomplished by these young men, you know, who fought when everybody had basically written us off at 0-4. These guys battled back and fought their tails off and got in position to play a quality opponent.
And while North DeSoto's season comes to an end, the Northwood Falcons are moving on to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2018. Reporting in Stonewall, I'm Sam Rothman.
Man, what a great game that was. Great sound from both coaches.
Yeah.
Austin Brown, great mustache.
I saw him Tuesday. He did not have that. That was
impressive.
something.
Also, you don't see Gatorade bats go that well these days.
No,
That was a great Gatorade bat.
They practiced that.
We'll have more on that game later. Manny, they move on to the quarterfinals, 51-22. But how about this? Upset of the night in 4A. Bell Chase goes on the road and ends Huntington's season in Independence Stadium, 31-28. Massive upset for Bell Chase over the Raiders.
Incredible stuff there. Incredible stuff in this next game. Got some fireworks for a District 1 5A battle in the second round of the 5A playoffs. It's Captain SHREVE.
I almost got run over.
Battling
I didn't know
Parkway.
they were running this way.
Opening drive of the game. Let Kendrick Law do Kendrick Law things. Huge gain. Gets the Gators in field goal range. That was the story in the first half of this team. A lot of field goals. That's as far as they'd get, though. Okay, Ray Merriweather makes the stop in the backfield. Thomas Murray, he's good at kicking. Boom. 3-0. It's 6-3 Gators, and then Jalen White. You may remember this kid. He was a player of the week our third week of the season, I believe. Takes the screen 70 yards. He's got a different gear. He hits it, shows off the afterburners. And John, you said it earlier. We've been saying it all night. Parkway never trailed again. Parkway upsetting number 2 seeded Captain Shreve. And Parkway, they get to host Acadiana.
Wow, that'll be
Next
fun.
Friday night,
The Wrecking Rams.
30-23. We got some scores now. North Caddo making program history.
Yes, sir.
Defeating DeQuincy tonight.
Jerry Bird never did that.
To 28. And Texas High, they take down Texas City. We'll have these highlights later in the show.
Yeah, I just want to, I mean, Texas City, the Stingrays. That's
Stingrays,
cool.
so cool.
All right, let's go to Louisiana. Logansport taking on Arcadia. Arcadia looking to pull one of the biggest upsets in Louisiana high school football history. That did not happen, though. Duartez Chapman ends that 4th down attempt shy of the line to gain. And then we've got a touchdown for Logansport. Cam Boykins hands that to Jacalen Dagley. He goes untouched. Let's go for 2. Let's go for 2, and let's convert the 2. Boykins to Jacob Contario makes it 22-0. Great effort play here. The kids love to see it. Javen Claybrook.
This was an amazing 2-minute drill. They got the ball back with 50 seconds. Took them 2 plays to score.
Here's that second play. Boykins, Contario, touchdown, 28-0. Logansport leads at that point. They roll over Arcadia 50-0. Logansport, the top seed in 1A, is going to the quarters. All right, more scores. Ashdown season comes to an end against a team in Shiloh Christian that has a really impressive Twitter account. 21-0. They get the win. Homer, they defeat Northwood Lena. Northwood Lena won their first ever playoff game last week, unable to win their first ever second-round playoff game. They lose 46-6. Shiloh Christian, though, I mean, really cool hype videos. It's tough to beat a team that's got that budget.
It is 5th seeded Ruston hosting 12th ranked Benton. Ruston up 7-3. Devian Wilson.
He's so good.
Look at him go. My goodness. Finally bring him down to the 10-yard line. Dyson Fields now. We've been saying this kid's name.
We're all excited.
All year long. He drops it, picks it up. Ruston at the 2-yard line.
We're so enthralled with this game, we're on our phones.
Who is that? Ruston at the goal line. Dawson Willis, touchdown. Bearcats lead 14-3. Benton now going to take the ensuing kickoff. Tigers showing a little bit of juice. This game ain't over yet, says Benton, if we could get to it.
Here
we go. Now, we only show you kickoffs if terrible things happen or good things happen.
This is a mixture of both.
Yeah, kind of a good thing. Brought down at midfield. Jaden Osborne
we
now.
picked this play up halfway through it.
Touchdown, Bearcats.
Yep, Ruston, all Ruston. They win 56-16 tonight over Benton. That's the end of Benton's season. Some scores now in Texas. DeKalb falling to Newton,
man,
36-0.
I hadn't seen that score yet.
Then in Arkansas, the Lions over Lafayette County, 43-0.
All right, let's go to Calvary now. The Cavs taking on Sacred Heart out of Ville Platte. First quarter, Xavier McLaughlin gets down to inside the 5-yard line, and then it's Walter Williams finishing the job. Goes untouched. That makes it 7-0 Cavaliers. Sacred Heart forced to punt. Really good punt for a high school kid. Hutch Grace fields it. Hutch Grace has had a great second half of the season. Good return. Sets the Cavs up in good field position, and Walter Williams says, I'll have my second touchdown of the first quarter. And that's all you need to know.
John, does any other team in the state score 60-plus more casually than Calvary?
No, they've got to lead the state by far in points. I mean, it's just not even close. They do it again tonight, 63-7. Calvary's going to the semifinals. More scores. Prescott, bit closer than we thought, maybe.
Held to under 30. That's shocking.
Yeah, against a Bismarck team that they're familiar with. But they do move on. Survive and advance. Well, it's all about 28-14 Prescott. The Curly Wolves are moving on. Carthage just keeps winning. They take down Hampshire Fent 42-14.
Carthage hasn't lost since I was in the 5th grade, I think. Over to Mesmer Stadium, Loyola struggling to keep up with Vanderbilt Catholic in the first half.
That's Vanderbilt to you, sir.
Diego Archilla with the catch, dodging the Flyers left and right. Terriers again dominating on the next play. Wide receiver Andrew Bauman with the catch. That's going to set up a Terrier field goal. This game back and forth all night. Let's fast forward to the end of the 4th. Loyola moved the ball from inside their 10 all the way inside the Terriers' red zone. Missed opportunity here on 3rd down. It's now 4th down. Game on the line. 31-24. Loyola Jacob Lafitte looking for his man over the middle, and the pass falls incomplete. And that is Loyola's season.
I got to give Vanderbilt Catholic a ton of credit. Look at that crowd.
They traveled
so
amazing.
Well. That's like a 5-hour trip.
Loyola, they fall tonight. Their season ends. Valiant effort in Mike Green's first year with the Flyers, 31-24. Their season ends. Some more Texas scores. This Marshall game's tomorrow. Tenaha falling to Chilton 17-10.
Tenaha came into the season as a top 10 team, and I think that they expected to go a little further than the area round. All right, BYRD taking on Brother Martin. This was a surprise in a different way. Brother Martin started the second half. Garrett Mahat finding Clayton Leonardo. Nice one-handed grab for the first down. And then later in the drive, Torrey Lambert takes the jet sweep, stiff arms a man. There it is. Tiptoes the sideline, and he's in. The Crusaders on cruise control in this one. But here come the Yellow Jackets. Sawyer Benson gonna make the sack here. So that gives BYRD the ball back on offense.
See what they can do.
But they were not doing much. Anton Brown deflects this one away. And look at this final. Who saw that coming? 45-14.
Wow.
Brother Martin.
It's hard to do that to BYRD.
It's one of the more impressive performances I've seen in quite a while from Brother Martin. All right, more scores now. Again, another game that's happening tomorrow. Pleasant Grove looking to avenge their area round loss
over at the Star.
At the Star, yes, sir. And Beckville, they just keep winning. They are now 12-0 for the first time ever. 50-31 over Hearn.
Maybe the game of the night.
Absolutely.
Red River on the road at ROSEPINE. It's the first quarter now. Ethan Frey.
Is it
highly
Fry or
touted
Frey?
Baseball recruit. You might know better than me. Takes it upon himself to rush. Gets the edge here. He gets the touchdown. He's
I think this kid could go D1 in something.
He's going to go D1 in something.
Maybe other than sports.
Eagles with the ball now in life. Frey goes to his right. My goodness. Eagles with a 2-score lead here. All Eagles so far. Still in the first quarter. Frey handoff to Grant to Cody. He's going to score as well. It's 21-0.
This game's over, right?
Yeah, it's got to be over. Don't blink, though.
Okay.
Did you blink, John?
I unfortunately did.
Bulldogs came back to tie the game at 21.
We're in overtime now, I think.
Going to take the lead again. 28-21. Feisty Bulldogs. Centavious Smith hits Devin McDonald. Tying things up in overtime. Here we go. Final play of the game, 42-35. Ethan Frey again in for the touchdown. And you know what? I love this. They said, let's win. We're at home. We're in the postseason. Let's go for 2, and they get it. The Bulldogs season is over. ROSEPINE, a gutsy go-ahead 2-point conversion. And what do you get? A date with Manny next week. You're welcome. Congratulations. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's going to be a fun game next week, though.
It will be. Congratulations to ROSEPINE.
Maybe come over here a little bit, John. Come hang out with me.
Sorry.
Yeah. Come hang out with me, man.
Sorry, everybody.
That's okay. So you saw a lot of Louisiana stuff there. Up next, we're going to Texas. Stay with us.